Giggles podcast.
We're back on. Cool.
Surprise!
So this is impromptu. Welcome back, guys, and we're grateful that you're here. Yeah, appreciate it. KPow just did the namaste thing. If you're not watching, namaste.
There's no sound effects that I could have done with that.
Apparently,
Namaste.
apparently they don't do namaste as a respectful thing. It's like namaste is like a what's up.
All
So
right.
when you're like walking down the street, it's just like namaste, namaste. I don't know how they say it.
What culture is that from? Oh, sounds
India.
so. Yeah, right.
India, yeah. So there's probably other cultures as well, but yeah. And then the higher your hands, the more respect it means. So Johnny Champion, if you're listening, if you really respect the field, then your hand should be nice and high. Oh yeah, see? What's up?
Sup, G?
Imagine that. But yeah, so apparently that's it. And
Where'd
if
you hear
that's
that?
disrespectful, probably Instagram, to be honest.
Yeah. Definitely true then.
Yeah, everything's true on
Everything you see on the internet is true.
that. Media would never lie to you.
Why would they?
Yeah.
What's their motive?
They 100% don't have anything to get out of it.
Ever.
Besides just spreading truth. All right, anyways, we were just chatting about how our training's been going, and then thought, you know what, this would be cool to kind of like, because probably give some insight onto like road to, not to recovery, but road within recovery after surgery and everything. Might give you guys some ideas from injuries as well. Yeah, so that's KPow. And then, yeah, I'll chat about mine because it's been a weird couple of weeks. So
Why has
Yeah.
it been a weird couple
no,
of weeks?
I said I was
John?
going to pass it over to you first. So back to you. So
No.
just so
I think
everyone-
that's a good segue.
No, just so everyone understands it. I was like, hey, I seen you, KPow, I seen you doing bodyweight lunges.
Hold that thought. We're going to come back to that.
I can't hold that thought. It's
I know.
gone.
I'm like, should I write it down?
Yeah, you need to
I
note this
will
down.
forget. So yeah,
So bodyweight lunges.
bodyweight lunges earlier this week, which is massive progression for me.
Yeah.
So yeah, like it's just been anything that I can do that's pain free. I'll start introducing it back into training. So for those of you who don't know, I had knee surgery. I had a meniscus tear, stitched back up, and I'm 12 weeks post-op now. So starting to reintroduce things into training. I would say that I'm like further ahead with recovery than what I should be. I think that's mainly come from the physio that I go and see. He's like, you need to slow down, dude. You're like pushing the limits too much, and you're gonna fucking hurt yourself. And you're gonna. But I said to him, I was like, that's how I interpret it, and that's how I look at it. I've got an alarm going off. That's annoying. Sorry about that. But I'm going to push the limits, because if I'm not, then I don't know where I am, if that makes sense. So, like, if I'm not pushing the limits, and I'm not being stupid. If it hurts, I'm not even going to attempt it. But if I do XYZ one day, and then the next day it's inflamed and it's sore and it's achy, then I know, okay, that was a little bit too much. Whereas if I don't push the boundaries, and I'm like, everything feels amazing, but I'm only working at 70% capacity, then I'm not going to recover as fast. And then I'm like, oh, well, that's just not really how I work. I'm just going to keep pushing, trying to get as much volume in, as much range of movement. It's like trying to fit it all in. And then if my body's like, oh, that's a bit too much, then I'll back it off.
So hold
yeah.
up.
So like even had barbell stuff the last couple of weeks.
I've seen that you've been pulling from the blocks.
Yeah.
Yeah?
So
So-
that's been good. And
Just so everyone knows what the blocks are, they're just like, you see weightlifters use them. It's really just risers, just wooden risers or boxes or blocks or whatever. So you're not lifting from the ground. You can lift from certain heights to either help with lower back or knee pain. So
That's me.
KPow has
Because like
both.
for me, it's hamstring and then knee flexion. So I can't get deep into a squat, and I can't hinge all the way because my hamstring is so tight that when I start to stretch my hamstring, it pulls through my knee as well. So like that's something that I'm trying to overcome it, because it's so hard to stretch my hamstring without it going through my knee that it was hard for me to stretch my hamstring for months. So
Yeah.
then my hamstring, the length of my hamstring is shortened. So then, yeah, there's like a compounding fucking injury that I'm working around now as well. But we're getting there. So, yeah, I managed to even do some light, like 50 kilos, do some deadlifts from the floor yesterday as well.
Oh, wow.
So
That's cool, man.
seeing some progress.
Man,
But like from the blocks, I was doing 80 kilo power snatches, singles, so like not for reps or anything like that.
Hang on.
And then
Hang on.
90
So from the blocks,
clean and jerks.
you're doing 80 kilo power snatches and 90 kilos on the bar for your clean and jerks. Power clean, I'm assuming.
Power clean, yeah.
Push jerk.
Nah.
Squat clean, split jerk.
yeah. Nah,
Putting that
just
like bad knee forward. Yep. Sweet.
just single leg.
Hey, that's rude. Some people would be like that. Oh,
Yeah, I know.
Sorry.
But yeah, it's been good. Well, like I was fucking stoked to hit the 80 kilos for a couple reps on.
And pain free.
Yeah.
Yeah. Next
It's like
day, all good.
it's a little bit achy the next day,
Yep.
but it'd be like a 2 to 3 out of 10.
Oh yeah.
So I'm like, oh, it's manageable. I think that's what I mean by like I'll push the limits. Like I'd rather be there and then go right. Next week I'll either dial it back a little bit or I'll just watch the volume that I'm doing. But I'd prefer to do that than be like everything felt amazing, but I probably could have put 10 kilos more on and then
Yep.
take longer to recover from it. So, but yeah.
I find like, when I'm working with people, even with myself, I try to. It's really hard, obviously, but like the 4 out of 10 rule. So if it's 4 out of 10 or less in pain, you can not push it more, but maintain. You can
Yeah.
maintain what you're doing, and then the next day your body's going to tell you if that was too much or not. If
Yeah.
it doesn't tell you straight away. So for those that are like coming back from it, that's a good idea. And also KPow's got I'm assuming whether it's a mental list or not, he has a list of movements he knows hurts it.
Yeah.
And then he's like just ticking them off.
So like earlier this week, I was playing around like holding onto a ring, like full ring support, just seeing the depth that I could get to. And I was getting to below parallel, and the thing that was hurting was the stretch through like my quad muscles. And I was like, that hurts way more than, and then if I go like a little bit deeper, I can feel it start to pull through my knee. And
Yep.
I'm like, I feel like the pain and like the hardest part is actually the muscular adaptation, not the actual knee movement. That's
Well,
going to
essentially-
be for next, like that's going to be the next hurdle for me to get over is actually, because my knee hasn't been past like 100-degree flexion for months. So I'm like,
Yep.
I don't think that my quads are actually able to move that far.
They're like, nope, we're good here. We're good. I also think as well, some people now, I'm generally quite against medical intervention as in like surgery, cortisone injections and all that stuff, unless there is anything else you can do, like if you tried everything. So but generally the surgery is meant to make the site of injury or pain better, right? That's the goal. So everything else around it is like, what the hell? Like,
Yeah.
what is going on? And it tightens up, scar tissue comes around, it's just like, I got this, I'm going to fortify this so it doesn't move. And it's like, it's a knee joint, it needs to hinge.
Yeah.
Like,
It needs
so,
to.
yeah, so obviously the muscles are just like hurting. Do you stretch it or do you like massage it? Because
So
you said
I-
stretching kind of pulls into the knee.
Yeah, so like massage gun.
Yep.
And then I've been like seeing the physio, which we've been doing heaps of dry needling and stuff. So it's
Yeah.
like hands-on massage stuff more than stretching. But I'm getting to the point now where I can actually get a stretch through my hamstring without it pulling through my knee. So
Yep.
that'll be like the next thing that I progress with is the stretching.
And it's so much easier stretching.
It's you know what's so crazy is that I went to see the surgeon for the 12-week appointment, and he was like, "Oh, so like you won't be doing squats anymore. Like you'll just be doing like the old man squats just to the box and back up." And I'm like, I squatted 200 kilos the week of surgery. What the fuck makes you think that I would go from that to an old man box squat and be
Yeah.
happy with that? Like, I wanted to get surgery so my knee is better.
So
and
you
that I
can squat more than 200 later down the line.
Yeah, why would
Yep.
I get surgery to like be happily back 10 steps?
Yeah.
I'm like, that makes no sense.
Yeah. And was your knee only in pain when you were squatting, or was it just in pain all the time?
It was hit and miss. So
Yeah.
for the 2 weeks prior to surgery, it was all over the show. Like, I woke up one day and I couldn't bend my knee. And then,
True.
yeah, and then the following day felt fine and I could squat. No problems. Pain-free, fine.
Yeah.
And then the following day, it'd be seized again. So I'm like, I'm at the week of surgery, I'm like, I'm so glad I booked in because this is doing my head in.
Yeah. But you
The
were also coming to the
inconsistency.
end of your squat cycle.
Yeah, yeah.
Which-
So it was right at the peak. So,
Yeah. I'm just going to give Baseline a little plug here. KPow shared with me the method that he did for his squat cycle.
the KPow method.
And it was
We
I think anyone's knees, if they're not taking it, sounds really bad actually. But you've got to be able to take care of your body, right? You've got to be doing things. But I don't blame your knee for being I hate you. I hate you so much.
But
that's an intense squat cycle.
Yeah, we did it pretty much we were doing it during quarterfinals. So it was sometime between open and quarterfinals that we started that squat cycle, and that was all the way through till August.
Yeah, that's
And
huge.
it was, bruh. But that being said, we had some people that were following the program that weren't going to the same intensity, and they weren't getting the same results. So
Okay, that's fair. Yeah, because it is very based on intensity, this one. Hey?
yeah, so the top two working sets were go to a max set. It
Yeah.
should have been between around 6 reps each set, but it was send it, max out. And
Yeah.
me and Christy were 9 times out of 10 we weren't re-racking the bar because
You were failing it?
Yeah, we were either failing it or squeezing the absolute max last rep that we could.
Yeah.
And I put what was my one rep before we started was 185. So I put 15 kilos on my back squat in the space of February to August. What's that? 6 months.
Which is quite big. Some people will be like, oh, that's not that much. But if you look at KPow's been squatting since before CrossFit.
Yeah.
So his adaptations aren't going to be those, we were just talking about in the last episode about adaptate. What is it? What were we talking
Third
about?
wave adaptations and stuff like that.
So
Yeah.
that's huge. And also everything else went up with your weightlifting as well. So there was a huge carryover.
Yeah. Which is what we've talked about previously. I can't remember whether we talked about it on an episode or not, but the carryover to CrossFit more specifically, but if an athlete in the field has a very impressive squat, then chances are a lot of their other movements are going to be quite strength dominant. I guess you could they're going to be they're going to do well in a strength event if they have a ridiculously good back squat. Whereas if somebody has a ridiculously good deadlift, doesn't necessarily mean that their other lifts are going to transfer that strength as well. So
I find with we squat so much more in CrossFit, right? Everything kind of has that squat. Even weightlifting is still a quad dominant side of the sport, whereas deadlifting is so posterior. And usually, if they got a strong deadlift from back in the day, it's all lower back, and so they're good at getting the bar up, but not necessarily standing it up in a clean.
Yeah.
Same with the snatch. And so they got you got a deadlift, and you got some strongman stuff. Give them that.
Yeah.
And you got a strong back. You're going to be strong at deadlift. Strongman.
Doesn't necessarily mean it'll transfer into other things, that's all.
Yeah, and it's very rare in comparison to what else we see. Man, we are tangenting.
Yeah.
How good, though.
Okay, back to holding
Back
that
to
thought.
you. Yeah.
Why has training been weird recently, Jono? Please elaborate. I remember.
Cool.
I should get a little golden star for that.
That was pretty... I was pretty sure we were holding the thought on your bodyweight lunges.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm going to take that star away. It's been... I was talking to KPow, and I was just saying how, training's been really good physically. Even mentally, staying focused. So there's actually a really cool thing in this book I've just finished. I think for the 3rd time again. So if anyone's got good books about sports psychology, mentality, and everything like that, KPow doesn't really care about it, but I love it. I'm all over
Where'd that come from?
and I re-listen because I don't like reading that much, so I find more time to listen to it while I'm driving and running and riding. Send them through, please. I would love it. But if you send me anything with David Goggins, I can get angry enough and motivate myself enough with that. So
He's still good.
He's good. Actually, I've read his first book. Well, listened to his first book a couple times now. But yeah, if you guys need any books suggestions, I've got a decent amount.
Name your top 3.
Mine would be How Champions Think. No, I'm going to have to do it. How Champions Think by...
For those of you who don't know, while Jono's looking for the author,
Dr. Bob Rotella. I just wanted to cut you off.
Yeah,
no,
thanks.
I'll go again. You go.
Jono's actually competing in the Down Under CrossFit Championships. So that's what we're talking about when we're saying the lead up and how his training's going for Down Under CrossFit Championships.
Oh, thanks, mate. Yay.
Congratulations.
Got to back it up now. Yeah. So yeah, my favourite one still to this day after years of reading it is How Champions Think by Dr. Bob Rotella. The next one I really like just because he uses heaps of stories to talk about it, and he uses a fair few cycling stories, and they're all like the generation where like I was like looking up to them and everything, which is cool. And that is How Bad Do You Want It by Matt Fitzgerald. And my third one, yeah, probably be Champion Minded by Alistair McCaw.
Yeah, right.
But there's other ones, like those first two I said are really good. I've read The Winning by Tim Grover. I've just finished that for a second time. Relentless,
really
I've read
like that
twice. But honestly, after going through How Champions Think and How Bad Do You Want It, his stuff is like primary school.
Really?
Like, it's just really cool. Like, I don't know, man. They're amazing books. Like, yeah. So I just love it. But if you guys have any other ones, I think the Becoming Superman talks about the flow zone, which is really cool. But it's more towards like extreme sports because that's when the flow zone's kind of like life or death. You don't really see that a lot or as much as like in sports where there's no risk of death. Because like,
you can still definitely get into that flow state.
You can. It's just a lot harder. Like you almost have to like
it's hard to do that
really
in a
dial in.
6-minute AMRAP.
Yeah. Whereas if you're like helicopter dropping into a snow mountain, if you don't hit flow, you might most likely going to die.
Tree.
Or a cliff.
Yeah.
So, but he does point that out, and I was like, damn it, this doesn't relate as much.
Yeah.
But it was still really cool because the story behind it are wicked. Anyways.
Tangent.
Yeah. But they're good, man. I will talk about mindset all day.
Yeah.
Is that motivation has been there, but energy hasn't. But that's where I got on this. Tim Grover just spoke about, he's like, don't count down, count up. So instead of being like, I'm going to focus for 10 minutes, he's just like, focus for as long as you can. And the next time, if you hit 10 minutes and 1 second, you've improved. So he's like, never have the clock counting down, always have it counting up so you can see how long you can hold focus. So it's measurable instead of just checking a box. And I was like, that's really cool.
I don't think we ever have the clock counting down at the gym. Just
no? Is it always up?
It's super weird. You look at it and be like, what the fuck is going on? Who changed the clock?
You like got to do maths and you're like, ugh, and cognitive maths.
Start again. Start again.
Yeah. Restart it. I'm halfway through. I don't care.
Yeah.
So, yeah, focus has been good, but just energy hasn't. But, man, training's been epic.
That's cool.
Like, it's been weirdly good. Maybe because I've had no expectations, because I'm like, man, I'm wrecked. But then, like, just PBing stuff, hitting numbers that I didn't think I'd be able to achieve, movements getting better. Like, it's, yeah, but, you know, I put it all down. Do you see that bug in my camera?
Yeah.
Bugging me. I'm going to put it down to just the squat cycle I'm doing. Just makes everything better. It also scares me. Nah.
Not doing a real squat cycle.
Nah. Nope. This one only goes for like 6 to 8 weeks, not 6 to 8 months.
That's where the gains are.
That's fair. I will give you that, actually. Yeah.
Have you got like a crew that you're training with at the moment, or is it a lot more? Just a lot of solos. Yeah, right.
Shout out to Lise though, when she can, or even Courts fits. When they can, they will come up on the weekend sometimes, or I'll go down to them, and so it's been good. But during the week it's usually just me. That's also a choice though. Like,
see, I
not
found
to be rude to others, but that it's a choice.
When you've got like, if you have a couple of sessions where you know you're going to be training with somebody else, then it helps. So I'll give a little bit more context to when I was starting to train at Injustice, I was like, I'll do like 1 or 2 sessions up there a week. That's it. And then because the drive was whatever, and I was like, every time that I go up there, I'm going to go. Doesn't matter what the session is. I'm going to go balls to the wall on that session. Treat it as if it's a competition, and I'm just going to absolutely send it on that session. So like when I was with the guys up there, like you put way more, not way more, but you emphasize that session, and I feel like that having that as a marker, like having 1 or 2 sessions a week where like I'm going to test myself here, then like, because you can't do it all the time. You can't go balls to the wall for every single session every single day. You'll just burn out by the end of it, and you're not going to end up getting any better at it. So like to have 1 or 2 sessions. So if you like, I know I'm going to train with like guys on the weekend, you push really, really hard, and like you're pushing the intensity in that session. And then on the other sessions when you're training solo, you're like, right, I want to focus on this movement pattern, or I want to focus on these transitions. And you can focus on like the nuancy things within your training. And then when you got someone next to you and they're going to push the pace, that's when you can work on the intensity side of things. And I found that worked really, really well for me for that short time frame where I was doing that. But
that's true.
Where training
it's a
buddies
good point, actually. The only caveat I have to that is that when I go into my solo sessions and I'm like, all right, what do I need to work on? And it's like, well, intensity. It's like, if you want to get strong, you need to have intensity within your lifting. So then it's like, cool. And then it's like, you want to get fitter? Well, and it sounds arrogant, but most of my movements are pretty fluid. Like I've spent enough time being like Nazi about. Sorry if that's insult. Don't get angry.
I'm the best. My name's Jono.
Obviously not. Otherwise, I'd be at the games. But so I'm just like, okay. So today, even there was a ring muscle up workout, and I just was like, well, what would be my focus? And I was like, well, like unbroken. And I'm like, damn it. And so I was like, sweet. And I just had to, which is really good. It was just that I just didn't have the emotional energy for it, and I was like, whatever. Like I wrote it on the whiteboard, because as soon as you put it in the universe, you got to do it. That's the rule. And so I wrote on the whiteboard. Took me like 13 minutes to set up the rings because I could not get them even. That was a whole nother thing. I was like losing my mind. And I was like, if I throw this ring and it breaks or anything, then I'm going to be even more annoyed. So I can't even do anything. I just have to actually
You need to get a set of those straps where like they loop into the actual strap itself.
Exactly what I was working with.
How did you not get it right then?
Don't ask me, man. They even have numbers, and I'm matching up the numbers, and they're like, just skew if. And I'm like, no.
That's operator error. Sorry, mate.
No, honestly. So I had to like do a whole new setup, which I've never seen anyone do. And I was like, you know what? If I die, I die. But they're straight.
If he dies,
they were even.
He dies.
He dies, yeah. Yeah, so that's the only thing. Whereas, that's the only thing. Even yesterday was like snatches, ski erg, and handstand walk. And I was like, well, like, there's nothing stopping me. I just have to go faster than I really want to.
Yeah.
Which actually pays off really well.
You do, generally speaking, push harder when there's somebody else next to you.
Oh, 100%. That's in actually How Bad Do You Want It, the book. They talk about like the group effect. They actually even, did I tell you, they did it? Yeah, we've done this on an episode. They did a test where they got like a group of athletes, and then they got male athletes, and they put an attractive instructor in front of them. and performance went up.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, so they did it with like, they would have like motivation every... Oh no, I was telling Lise, one of my friends, like training with her. So yeah, they had like every minute you get a motivational cue. You have a crowd, you have everything, and one of the biggest ones was putting an attractive female in front of a male. And the male was so much better. So I was just like, hey, Han, do you want to come to the session? There we
Brownie
go.
points right there.
Yeah, she just rolls her eyes. She's just like, whatever. I'm like, fine, don't love me. It's cool. I do it by myself.
Oh, that's funny. No, we didn't talk about that on an episode, by the way.
Oh, okay. Well, there we go.
Now we have.
And it's not just Instagram. That's in the book, and these sites, the studies. Like, it's really cool. I was like, wow, it's interesting.
That is cool.
But yeah. So I think also, though, to take away from that, for people that don't really care about what we're doing, and they're like, well, why are you talking about this, is KPow's got his list, and he's kind of like working through it, being smart with his progressions. Pardon?
And I'm checking it twice. No.
Just that's it.
Because Christmas is coming, so.
Oh, wow. Actually, Black Friday sales are coming. That's more important.
Wow, what are we looking for?
I don't know. Anything on sale.
True. Christmas presents.
Yeah. Well, duh. Yeah. And then even, like, I've not felt like training, but I've got everything done. Actually, this week and last week have been, like, some of the best training weeks or days I've had.
Yeah, nice.
And I've been the least motivated. So
It's funny that, hey?
yeah, your motivation's lower, but just don't let that affect your habits. I guess we've spoken about that. How you don't agree with motivation, you agree with discipline.
Yep.
Or habits.
Because that's it. Like, if you're not motivated, your discipline is going to get you there anyway.
Yeah.
And then that compounding effect, if you're disciplined for 6 months, you're going to end up with way better results than if you were just if you were just relying on motivation for 6 months. Can guarantee it.
Because you'll have those days, and we spoke about this not yesterday. Feels
Definitely
like
not yesterday.
Last episode when we were saying how, like, if you hold yourself to the standards, then they matter in the end. And, like, if you miss out on the 1 or 2 days because of motivation's lacking, you don't have the discipline, that matters in the end as well.
100%. Yeah.
So don't be soft, but be smart.
Be disciplined. You racket a discipline. That's a South Park reference for those of you who don't know.
Yeah. Guys, it's on Paramount, just in case you don't know that either. There you go.
Check it out. They're up to like 22 seasons, 23 seasons now.
It's all over my phone. I'm like, fine, I'll start watching it again. Settle down. Settle down.
I'm a massive fan.
Yeah. If you guys have nothing else to watch, just watch the COVID one. Oh,
Don't start on the early seasons of South Park if you're going to start watching, though. Start in the later seasons because they, like, follow actual trends. Like, they follow
life.
Yeah, what's going on at the time. So if you watch one, like, the early seasons, they're dumb. But if you watch the later seasons, they're so funny.
Start from the COVID special. You have to watch that one.
Oh, yeah. So good.
Oh, it's so bad.
It's so good.
No wonder they go to court so much.
Yeah, I know. But you know, at the start of every episode, it says, due to the contents, this show should not be viewed by anyone.
Yeah.
So, like, they're literally saying, don't watch this.
Yeah.
So they're not liable.
Yeah. Wait, that's smart. They got good lawyers.
Yeah. They started that from a very early stage.
Yeah.
Don't watch this.
Yeah. How did we even get on this?
I have no idea. We need a little disclaimer at the start of our episodes.
Yeah. Don't listen
not
to
liable
this.
for anything that we say.
Yeah. No.
All right.
I think that was good, guys.
Yeah,
Be
we'll
smart.
leave it there.
Stay disciplined.
You heard it here first.
Yeah,
Stay
probably not,
disciplined.
but yeah. Please, guys. Oh, you know what? I was going to feed into what you usually say. I'm going to say one more thing. Send me any books, please.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Comment below.
Yeah.
Yep.
Do that.
So that way
please.
everyone can see them.
Yay.
Yeah,
And then
share the
everyone
love.
won't read them except for me. Yeah.
I'll audiobook them. I'm not reading.
Oh, well, that's fair. Yeah, I'm going to be on Audible as well.
All right. Cool. Over and out. We will see you next week. Leave stuff in the comments below on Spotify and YouTube and Instagram.
Just emojis, gifs, whatever.
Yeah. Share the love. All right. Ciao.